Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional traveler. Today I'm going to answer the question, how to learn survival skills. How do you learn survival skills? That's what we're going to talk about. How to learn survival skills? That seems like a very easy question, like learn how to rub two sticks together and make fire, and then before I know it, I've got an entire skyscraper. Not quite. So I'm going to talk about how to actually learn the process of learning survival skills. But before we do that, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, that helps support my channel, and also leave me a comment below for ideas for future videos and what you thought of this one. How to learn survival skills. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. But before we do that, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button below, that helps support my channel, and also scroll down and leave me a comment after you watch this video to the end, and let me know how I'm doing and give me some ideas for other things you want to see. So let's get right into that. How do you learn survival skills? Well, first, what are survival skills? It's assumed that you're out lost in the woods, in the jungle, in the desert, and then in the middle of the ocean, in the polar regions, and you have a good chance of dying. We're not going to talk about political survival skills, social survival skills. Those that's for a whole other different YouTube channel. So I'm going to get into the notes in my book here on page 291. I talk about, and Dr. Terry talks about, the things that you need to do to know how to survive, and you can see right here the survival list. All right, so I'm going to just read off those top 10 things, and I'll help you explain those, why they're in here. Number 1, attitude and the will to survive. Number 2, oxygen. Number 3, core temperature maintenance. 4, positive self-talk. 5, work with what you have. 6, protection from elements, animals, injury, and toxins. 7, shelter. 8, water. 9, food. 10, fire. Now, that's a survival list that we put together based on our combined experience out in the wilderness and everything we've done. You'll notice that fire is listed as last. However, that can be tied into core temperature maintenance. So if you need to start a fire to maintain your core temperature, that item can go up much farther. This assumes that you're not going to need fire to maintain your core temperature. So it's a very handy list. You can check it out. I'll put a link below. So when you say learning survival skills, that means that you're going to need to learn the innate skills that give you the most likely chance of surviving one of those disaster scenarios. I couldn't find my book, but the worst case handbook, that thing's actually really, really good. Now, you've got your phone, and hey, let's say I'm getting voicemails, all sorts of things. My brother's texting me. You think, oh, I'm going to look this up. You're in the middle of Alaska, and something's happened. Do you think your phone's going to work? Nope. You're not going to be able to call. You might be able to use it as a signal mirror, assuming a plane's flying over. No. So how do you learn survival skills? Well, the library. That's right. Now, there are 2-3 basic ways to learn survival skills. One is to hit the library or to build and buy your own library, because you're going to want to refer to these things time and time again. How to Stay Alive in the Woods, a very nice rubberized cover. All right. Survival Hacks. 200 Ways for Wilderness Survival. The Boy Scout Field Book. The Boy Scout Handbook, and these 4 books, actually plus the expedition book, so 5 different books, are a great way to start learning survival skills. And the how to learn survival skills, bust out the books and start doing these things and start reading. Go hit up the library, go order these books. I'll put the links below. The second step is to learn what's gone wrong with other people. Talk about minus 148, the winter climbing, I would say partial disaster, one or two people killed. learning about other people's mistakes is huge. So the initial thing I say is hit the book learning, and you might say, oh, I don't need that, I want to learn from people. First, you got to show up and have some idea in your head about things that can go wrong in scenarios and problems. Somewhere, I've got it somewhere, but I also have the U.S. Air Force Survival Manual. That thing is a freaking doorstop. If you want to learn huge amounts of survival, the U.S. Air Force Survival Manual is incredible. I highly, highly recommend it. So start off with the book learning, because in your spare time, when you're kicking back in the evening, you could just bust out and How to Stay Alive in the Woods, choose a random page, and learn how to build a lean-to and how you build it and why you build it to fulfill the survival list of keeping yourself going. The second way to do this is to go take a survival class. Now, there are lots of people who claim, oh, I've got a survival class. Be careful. Be very careful, because anybody can claim they're a survivalist. I've been out and I've done this. Do they have the pictures at the South Pole? Do they have the pictures of them rescuing somebody? You got to be careful about that. Now, is that to say I've seen guys like Cody Lundeen on Dual Survivor. He did great stuff down, I think it was in Arizona, where he did a whole series of classes on, we're going to go out with a pot, a pocket knife, and that's it. And we're going to walk into the bush and survive. So that is definitely an option for you as well. So taking a survival class from a professional person is key. Either they have some serious street creds, or you go down and say, go take a NOLS class, the Wilderness First Responder class, even just the Wilderness First Aid Basics class I took. That thing was great, because survival is all about maintaining your body. But the number one thing you have to learn about learning survival skills is it's your attitude. If you have a hyper negative attitude, you're a doom and gloomer, I promise you, you're not going to survive. And I hate to be cruel and unusual punishment type person, but you're going to die. And because if you have the belief that you're not going to make it out of a situation, you're toast. So having the belief that, yes, I can survive, because I've read stories about these search and rescue crews finding a lost hunter who has been in the bush and hunted for 30 years. They found him laying down on his blanket and all that, glasses all set up, and he looked perfectly peaceful. That's because he was dead. And why was he dead? Because he believed he was not going to get out of the situation, and he didn't commit suicide, but emotionally he gave up. Compare this to a lost jogger in the woods, or some kid who's been lost for days and they're found. Why does anyone survive? It's not quantifiable, because you never know what's going on in somebody's head if they've got physical issues. So how to survive in a real bad situation is to calm down, make sure you've got oxygen, choose I will survive. Is this going to be ugly and dirty or pretty? It's not going to be sexy like Survivor, the TV show. You're going to be starving, you're going to be dehydrated, you're going to potentially be miserable, dirty, cut up, hurt, who knows? But if you have the continual belief that you're going to make it out, you're going to have a great chance of making it out, because you've read all these things and you at least have something in your head. Maybe you've taken a professional class through NOLS or somewhere else, and that will get you there. Or maybe you've been in the Boy Scout program. Boy, that's the ultimate. And you can learn these things. So this is how to learn how to survive. My name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional traveler. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Scroll to the bottom and let me know how I'm doing. And also, please support me on Venmo, PayPal, and Patreon. Thank you very much for watching.